Folks, grab a seat and pour your drink neat as Whiskers and Whiskeys presents Ladies Night. That's right, it is Ladies Night here with the Whiskers and Whiskeys boys and the gals too. We have with us Aaron, Jackie, Marin, and of course EJ's wife, the one who supports him, all of his podcasting efforts, the very lovely Kelly. And then of course this is Mike with EJ. How's everyone doing tonight? I guess we talked a little bit about this beforehand. Like everyone's a little nervous. Like when do we speak up and stuff? We'll go around the room. Aaron, how are you doing?
I'm feeling great. Coming off a strong win, right, Jack?
No.
Shots fired right away. Love that. That's good camaraderie right there. and I gotta say, I watched that game. I was like, oh, this is why the Eagles are the number one overall seed. That makes sense. Any other, Jackie? I mean, the Giants, they looked loose. They looked great all week, and then
Yeah, it was a rough night. A rough morning, not feeling great. So,
Yeah, I will say Mike and I were on opposite sides of what we thought was going to happen during that game as well. I thought that it went similar to how I thought it was going to go. So I thought the Giants offense was going to struggle, and Mike did not. He thought they were vibing through the week, and unfortunately
they were posting videos, like they were looking hot. They were, they looked great after that last win. And then I thought also that Jalen was hurt, and like speaking from experience with Jalen Hurts, but he also he did this at Alabama too. Like he does this thing where he seems like very unassuming. It's like, oh, maybe he's not 100%. And Jalen Hurts still doesn't get the respect that I think he deserves. And then he goes out and does some shit like that. And it's like, well, okay, then that is why you are doing what you're doing. And that whole team just looks really good. So yeah. All right, so Aaron, Jackie, dichotomy of nights between you guys. Marin, how's it going?
Great. I was also with them watching the game, so it was super fun just being like a third party, kind of egging them on throughout the night. And Jackie all of a sudden wanted to do some shooters.
I wonder why.
to deal with it. So yeah, this morning was rough, but have made a recovery and have San Francisco on in the background, hoping that
EJ just fist pumped. What happened? I don't have
I'll give you one guess. A quarterback threw another interception.
Yes.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Which is going to take points away before halftime, baby.
Is there? Oh yeah, because you got the under. Did they? What's the score?
6-6, baby.
Yep.
I really need Dallas to kick a field goal, which is asking for a lot right now.
And
asking a lot.
And while the three of you guys were all having fun and drinking, Kelly, you were sleeping. So how are you doing?
I think I'm actually feeling great today. I got a full 7 to 8 hours of rest, and I did not wake up with a headache. So I'm better than you three. Sorry.
That's
Listen,
rock
solid. We're parents when Kelly was like, you know what? I think I slept all the way until 5:30 today.
That's really sleeping in. I mean, you barely had a day, like when you get up that late, geez, it's like you wasted half the day.
Basically, yes.
And EJ and Kelly are sharing a mic, so this could be great. I can't wait to see how this goes for the rest of the podcast. And
sure.
EJ, why don't you tell the folks what we're doing tonight?
Yes. So what we are doing is I was approached via text. I think a non-sober text as well. After from one of these lovely ladies, Marin, because her husband is Jimmy. I guess we could have said that. Our frequent guest, Jimmy, was on our last episode, which was our jersey draft, and so
which I won.
Mike did win.
Just want to point that out.
Yeah, you did a great draft. I liked your team.
Thank you very much.
But you didn't vote for him, though, did you?
I didn't. I felt compelled to vote for Jimmy.
Didn't need it. The people, the people spoke. So yeah.
So
It's-
this idea, because of the success and fun of the last draft, was actually Marin's draft. She asked if it'd be possible to put together an episode like this, and Mike and I thought it would be hilarious. So what we're doing today is we are having these lovely ladies do a draft of their own, but this is going to be of the NFL coaches, all 32 of them, on a draft of attractiveness. And as Mike had astutely pointed out in our texts leading up to this, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I'm really excited to hear some of these reasons on why some of these fellas are attractive, because as you guys know through your research, you're gonna run out of just flat attractive guys pretty quick. Like,
well, I mean,
physically attractive.
you're talking physical,
Right?
You're talking
Physically
physical
attractive people.
But again,
Correct.
I mean, there's like the dad bod revival. Like it's,
Sure.
I think I honestly going through. I mean, I think there's a lot of these guys that have some type of physical redeeming quality, especially if you look at them like when they were a little bit younger. I mean, you get to that like bottom, and it's like a little, I don't know, like there's the bottom third where it's like I'm not sure what to make of it, but
And I will say you guys are also lucky. I don't know, I didn't really realize it until we started to go through this list. This is probably the most coaches under 40, like head coaches under 40 that's like ever been in the NFL. So it's not like you have a bunch of like 90-year-old dudes. You guys actually had a pretty decent like pool of younger guys that are either fun and not old and grumpy, or just are physically beautiful.
but there's some
women.
silver foxes out there.
Oh,
Like
for
I
sure.
want to say
Oh, yeah,
that
for sure.
Like I mean, we'll see where, because the ladies are drafting. EJ
Sure.
and I are just here purely for commentary and to help
Yes.
keep it moving along.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought that there like, yes, there is a youth movement led by Sean McVay, but there's someone who is going like white in the hair. I just want to say, just because you're a little gray, that doesn't mean you're not attractive. So I just want to put that out there.
Jim
my own
has
self.
a sprinkle of gray in his hair as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some grays. It's just you can't get it. As long as I keep it. If I keep the hair, I'm okay
That's
with
what I
it
always
turning
say.
gray.
That's what I always say. So before we start, do you want to talk a little bit about what we're drinking too? Everyone's got wine, right? And I do want to, I said I wanted to, what's up with these Stanley Cups? What's the deal? I see the Instagram ads. Kelly, what were you going to say about these Stanley Cups here?
Hey, Mike, here's the thing.
Lay it on me.
It holds 40 ounces of water.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Number one.
Like that.
Number two, it has a straw.
Okay.
Okay. And number three, it can fit in any cup holder.
So I do, I have my, like, I don't know if this is a Yeti or a knockoff, but it's, I think 40 or 32 ounces. So I definitely like the size. I like the tapers so it can fit into the cup holder. The straw. Are you guys like, what kind of straw is it? Is it soft silicone? Is it hard? What we got?
It's a hard straw, but if you're not a straw person, you can also drink it like a regular cup. Like it can be like a coffee cup top. So it has both.
How often do you clean the straw? Are we concerned
like
about
every
cleanliness?
day?
Yeah, that's a lot of maintenance. It's a lot of upkeep. That's why I don't like straw. Like, yeah, clean that. You gotta get a little scrubber to go in there too.
Your cup then?
Well, like I give it like a little rinse. With the straw, you like gotta get in there,
I also like that it has a handle.
Oh yeah.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was reason 4. It has a handle.
Guys, here's the deal with these Stanley Cups, and not the hockey ones, because I wish it was. They're fine, right? Their comparative advantage compared to any other tumbler is they have the built-in handle, and you have to typically buy the accessory and the cup holder thing. Like that's really where they thrive. And it's fine, and it's pretty inexpensive. That's not my problem with this thing. My problem is
you have beef with these things.
Could you not tell by my reaction about talking about these stupid cups? Yes, I have a beef. I have a beef my beef is we have an entire goddamn drawer of tumblers. We have like 3 Yetis, and apparently
You
they're
need
not.
them. They're different for different reasons.
No, wrong. It's something cool on Instagram that all you guys saw, the one influencer.
Okay, to be fair, I cannot drink from my Yeti because the inside tasted disgusting when I was pregnant, and I can't drink from it anymore. So I needed a new cup, and this is it.
So what's the lid like on? Because I do have an issue with the Yeti lid. I feel like with the little, yeah. Let me see what we got going on there. Is it just is it a twist? Is there a see that ring, that little like silicone ring, that white ring right there? It gets dirty under there in Yeti. Like, it is gross. Have you guys seen it? Like how it gets with Yetis, how it gets straight up gross under
Well,
there.
I only drink water out of my cup, so I don't think mine gets gross.
That's the thing. If you do, but eventually with water, it's gonna get gross. But like if you do like one time, do like a seltzer in there or something like that, then like it's just gonna get or like liquid IV in there, it's game over.
You have to have specific vessels for liquid IV, or else you get like remnants of it.
Oh, so EJ's complaining about having too many vessels and to Jackie's point that you need to have a specific vessel for everything. All right. That works. That works.
No, I just wish and I guess I'm salty because I didn't find the next thing that every Instagram follower is going to buy, because that's what this is really. Like, Stanley's been around for a while and have been doing drinkwares and all sorts of stuff. But
1913.
there you go. So, but you get like 10 Instagram people and all of a sudden it's the best goddamn cup in the world. Crazy.
You know, even though it's not like the Stanley Cup like in hockey, I do actually have something called the Canley Cup, which is a nice little, like, I don't know if I've ever showed you guys this, but it's like a Stanley Cup attachment that you can put on top of any can. No. And that's like you're drinking out of the Stanley Cup. It's awesome. I'll bring it around.
I can't believe that I've known you for as long as I have and I've never seen it.
It's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest. Like I mean, it's novel. It's fun. Especially when the Penguins were winning back-to-back cups, it was like awesome to drink out of. And then, you know, the novelty dies off. So,
okay. So you asked us what we're drinking. Kelly, why don't you tell him what we're drinking? You can read the bottle. It's right in front of you.
Red wine.
Okay. To elaborate on this, it's a red blend. It is a
dynamite drop in, Kelly.
It is a 2017 blend, which when I sat there and thought about it meant that it's a 6-year-old wine, which then made me feel pretty gross that 2017 was 6 years ago.
I don't like that.
Nope. Aaron, what are you drinking?
I have some wine too. I have some your Trader Joe's $7 finest.
Oh, there you go.
Moon X. Pick it up. It's good.
What kind of wine is it? Like what type of red? Does it say?
It might be a cab. Yep, it's a cab, but it's really good.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Marin, so what do you got?
I am also drinking Trader Joe's red wine as well. Mine is a Cab Franc though, but I do love a good under $10 red wine from Trader Joe's. That's what we frequent here, or sometimes, actually a lot of times, we will have a black box of wine that just sits by the sink ready to go at a moment's notice.
Jackie, what do you got?
No surprise to anyone. I am drinking a rosé. I've never had this one before, Prophecy. I just liked the design on the front, so that's
a nice design.
Does it taste as good as the design looks?
Yeah. It's a good rosé. I don't like a dark rosé, so this is a nice light one.
Mike, do you have anything?
Well, I made it like I'm trying to cut back on drinking on school nights, so I'm just drinking seltzer tonight. But I will say that I really do like drinking Trader Joe's wines. Mm-hmm. Went to San Francisco in 2019, and we were trying to kill some time before the fireworks, and just went over to Trader Joe's, got some wine, got those like little crackers that come in the purple box that have like figs in them. You guys know the crackers I'm talking about, the little fig crackers. They're delicious. And then their honey goat cheese that they have.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and that was a real nice little afternoon snack right there. So yeah, good stuff.
Do you guys want to hear a quick story about me and Trader Joe's wine?
Yes.
So very recently, I went to Trader Joe's and I got a bottle of wine to buy on a Friday night. And as I was checking out, they were like, "Can I see your ID?" I said, "Of course you can. I'm not 21 like some people here." So I said, "Sure. Thanks for asking." And when I gave them my ID, they said, "This has been expired." And I said, No, it's not September 2022. She was like, "Yeah, it's been expired for like 3 months. You need a new ID." So I had to drive home carefully, and I did not get any wine from Trader Joe's.
Oh, Dan, they didn't give you the wine?
So for all the police officers that are listening here in Virginia, this was just an anecdote, just a funny story. My wife wasn't illegally driving on an expired license for months.
I didn't know.
I mean, to be fair, she didn't think it was September 2022. So,
Well, she was right. It was only like November.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to this draft. So we're going to do all 32 teams, coaches. So all 4 of you will get to pick 8 of them, and we'll do a draft, like a snake draft, like a fantasy football, where you'll have 1, pick first, and then 4 will kind of double it up, and at the end of the first round, and we'll go from there. So we need to decide the draft order here. We have not, for the listeners, we have not decided this. So I thought we could do it in a fun way. My idea is, you ladies might not be as familiar with this, but the NBA and the NHL have lotteries for their picks, and they do it very dramatically. Well, they'll have pictures of the logos of the team that's getting X pick. So, but they go from the 16th pick to the first. So they go in reverse order, right? So they build the drama of who's going to have the first pick. So that's what we're going to do here. But instead of pictures, I thought about having some really goofy pictures of you guys, but I thought it'd be too much of a hassle. So I selected images that describe you ladies. And so, and I shuffled this, so I don't know the order. I have no idea. Yeah, right here.
I feel like I can already guess what these are.
So this is how it'll do it. So the first one I select will pick 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. So it won't, the first one isn't the first pick. I'm going to go in reverse order. Yes. So this is the last pick. Okay. Kelly, can you hold the microphone for me, please? Near my face. All right.
Only if you pick me last.
Okay. So with the 4th pick,
Oh, that's me.
it is Jalapeno Hannah, the pierogi, for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So the Pirates have like a 6th inning race, like most MLB teams, but they do pierogies, actual people, and they all have unique names. And Jalapeno Hannah is Kelly's favorite. And drunk at a baseball game once, she screamed at Jalapeno Hannah as she walked by and said, "Can I get a picture with you?" And guaranteed there was like a 13-year-old in the costume. So
Whatever, I got the picture.
So Kelly will draft 4th.
That's kind of nice. No, that you get the back-to-back though. You start off.
But they're
going
to take the people I want first.
But then
I know how fantasy works.
But if you guys agree that there's only about like 8 to 10 guys that you really like, then you get 2 that are like pretty solid, as opposed to 1 that you really like, and then you kind of are struggling. So
I like to pick first.
I also have never heard that story of Kelly, and that just made my night.
Yeah, I will. After this, I'll send you guys the picture. I still have a really drunk picture of her from that game, and right before that moment. Actually, I might have actually taken a picture with her and Jalapeno Hannah. So I'll look for that and send it to you guys.
Why not? Jalapeno Hannah's a babe.
She runs with a purse. Like, come on.
Yeah. Which is kind of illegal. I mean, that's a weapon in those pierogi races.
Also, I forgot to tell you guys, and I'm glad you didn't say anything, and I don't think you noticed, but our printer ran out of like colored ink halfway through this, so these colors are a little distorted. All right, so third pick goes to a pair of flip-flops.
Oh,
I only have one question for you guys.
I
Does that look like someone's footprint here?
Not my footprint.
was like, what? A beach?
So for the listeners here,
yeah.
this is Aaron. At Marin's Lake House one time, we were trying to figure out whose flip-flops were whose, and instead of a normal person saying like, oh, those are my flip-flops, Aaron was trying them on and pressing into the sand to see if they were her footprint, not if they were her flip-flop.
Wait, your footprint.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like when you put on a flip flop and it just fits right on your foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she was trying to do, but she kept saying it wasn't her footprint.
All right, that's fair.
Correct. All right, here. So here it is. So second place, which is going to set up who is first. So second pick is going to be
oh,
what is this, everyone?
it's a pop.
It is a puppy, and there is one listener or one person on this call that has a sweet nickname from her mother named Pup, which is Jackie. Jackie, would you like to tell us why I know what your mom calls you?
So it was my birthday, I think, and I cut my hand on a nail, and everyone was telling me I had to get a tetanus shot. So I texted my mom being like, when was the last time I had a tetanus shot? Because like, why would I know that? And she emailed me like my medical records, but said pup. And I didn't think anything of it, screenshotted it, sent it to EJ and Danny, I believe. And of course, they immediately noticed that. They're like, why is your mom calling you pup? Which, why she calls me pup is when I was little, I had this puppy dog that I carried around everywhere with me, could not go anywhere without this dog. So she just called me pup from that, and still does at 29 years old.
I'm not gonna lie,
years old.
As a new father of a little girl, like I kind of want to cry right now. That's like the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Like my heart's swelling up so much right now. So
that leaves one person for the first pick, and that person is best
Oh my gosh.
represented
Oh.
as Big Bird.
it
So
would be
Marin,
better if it was the Big Bird meme where he's kicking down the door.
would you like to tell everyone why you're called Big Bird?
So yes, and I will say that my entire family has different variations of Big Bird, but how this initially started was my brother Will, we were at the lake and we were going to like float a few docks down, and we had loaded up like inner tube with like drinks and everything. So I had it over my shoulder. He was like, what do you have, crane legs there as you're kicking? And so the crane legs morphed into birds, and then it has morphed into Big Bird. And I also didn't really help myself. During COVID, we would go down there and I was trying to draw Big Bird on the Mother's Day card I was making, and it did not turn out like Big Bird, so that just like added more fuel to the fire. So I get Big Bird. Yeah, so I was trying to figure out what picture you would choose for me, and that's a good one.
That's a nickname that came around late too. I feel like normally you settle into nicknames early, so that's like a recent development there. That's a little rare.
Yeah, it's I think within probably the past like 5-ish years, probably. So yeah, shout out to Will for that. The
Yeah,
loving little brother he is.
I will say I obviously I knew your family called you Big Bird, and I didn't know exactly why. And just because I'm a nice person, I texted your husband to make sure that it wasn't a horrific reason why. But you always seem to take it in stride, but that doesn't mean anything. So
Yeah.
I double checked, and I'm glad that it was funny. Jafar would have been the second one. So
I was gonna say that also, yes, would have fit. But yeah, no, Big Bird is, yeah, there have been rumors throughout my family that when I become an aunt that it's gonna be Auntie Big Bird. So
yeah, I think that's a losing battle there for you trying
It
to
is.
not be that.
Sometimes you just gotta embrace it. So
Okay, so now that we have our order set, are you guys ready to go?
Let's
Yes,
do it.
excited.
Yeah.
Nervous. She's nervous over here.
Kelly's just pissed. Heated
Yeah, they're gonna
about-
take my people.
I know. I can't wait for Kelly's comments when we take her people.
So annoyed.
It's no, I want him. right.
Okay here. So I'm gonna share my screen as you guys see it?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes. So this is just a PowerPoint so that I can so that all of us can keep track of the picks that you guys are choosing. So with that, Marin, what's your first pick?
So my first pick is going to be Kevin O'Connell with the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. There is just something about like his smile, and like when I was looking at pictures, I don't know, just something about like he's got like some broader shoulders about him too. And I don't know, even when he's not smiling, like he still has like a nice face. I will say I did look him up on Instagram. And his Instagram account is private. So like I couldn't exactly like dive into, his life. But still based on the pictures, I think I'm gonna go with him as my first pick.
AOC.
Marin, do you want to know the reason I had next to his name? He's Marin's pick.
I might have made my pick known. I did not know that.
I did.
Most of your guys' picks are known to me, so yeah. Oh, you know what? Sorry to pause here, Mike. Should we tell them the surprise ahead of time? I guess
I was just gonna text you and ask you about that. So why don't you go ahead and fire away?
Yeah, I guess I should. So for the listeners here, the ladies have no idea about this surprise. But what?
Is there a special guest?
No, there's not a special guest. And I will give credit. This is actually Marin's husband that came up with this idea. Shout out Jimmy.
No.
I know. So what we've done, and by we I say Mike because I knew your picks, or I knew a few of the people you guys were favoring. I thought it would be best if I was not a part of this. But there are 3 names here that Mike randomly chose, and if you draft that coach, you have to take a shot.
It's a school night.
And if you do not take it tonight, we will put it on your tab. Jackie, you already have quite a few on
Jackie's
your
face
tab.
of just pure horror of like, it is a school night.
I cannot take a shot right now.
I hear you. I mean, I'm not as a sober Sally tonight. That's I'm with you. But yeah,
So your debts, whoever these people are, it could be one person, right? It depends. Your debt will be paid at a later time.
That changes everything.
I have 2 thoughts on this. One, Jimmy told me this in passing, and I was like, they won't do it. Like, it's Sunday night. So
Yeah,
now I'm going to murder him. 2, I think
a lot
that
of crimes being or pre-crime being admitted to on this podcast. If the police ever get a hold of this,
incriminating evidence. But 2, I think that Jackie, Aaron, and I did enough shots last night to cover us. So
DJ last night. So I'm done.
That's fine, ladies, but you had a great night last night and a horrible day today. But you guys will end up having to take these. So, Mike, I mean, how are you going to announce it if it is one of them? Are you going to let them talk about it and then drop the news?
I wish I had an air horn,
I know.
or something like that. But
Do you have like,
I don't know.
Use your phone, like hit us up, like you got
Yeah,
like a noise that you can make?
yeah. You know what? I got an idea.
Okay.
So does she have to take?
No, KOC was not on my list. But also I will say I had him in like, so there's a couple tiers. I think there's like the young studs, the silver foxes, and then there's like, then it's like there's definitely a bottom tier, and there's not too many guys that are in the bottom tier, but then there's a tier of guys that are like decent, like an argument can be made. So we'll say the young studs, the silver foxes, an argument can be made, and then just trash. So he's definitely in the young stud tier, but I had a lot of people over him. So but he's great. He's great. I will say, whenever I looked at his pictures, I was like, wow, I don't know too much about him, but skull and whatnot. And good pick. Good pick. I think you could have got him later, though. I will say that. I think you could have got him later, but
I will say for me, and I think this might get lost sometimes because it's hard to tell on sidelines, but he was a former player. He played in the NFL. He was a quarterback, although it was as like a backup. He's tall. So he's kind of that he has that going for him, which obviously I assume ladies like tall men. So he's much taller than you'd think. And then you see him on the sideline talking to a ref and you're like, okay, wow, he's actually a tall dude. So
How tall is he?
I like to pick Marin. At least 6'3", if I'm not sure. I don't know if he's like 6'6", but he's tall. I have no idea. I don't know if he's single. Marin, is he single? I don't think he is.
I don't know, because his Instagram is private, remember? So I couldn't like look into his life.
Which also is a plus, because that means he's a normal person. Can we say that?
Yes. I mean, but just like for podcast purposes, I just wish I could have looked a little more into his life, but that's okay.
Jackie, Aaron, you guys got some thoughts?
Yeah, he's married and has 3 kids.
Wow. He's also the son of a former FBI agent, in case anybody was wondering.
Oh, and he's 6'5".
So yeah, 6'5", very tall.
Wow.
FBI agent. That may explain why he's in Knoxville, Tennessee, because I'm pretty sure there is a field office in Knoxville that's pretty noted. But went to high school in Carlsbad, California, San Diego State, the Aztecs. 3rd round draft pick. And here's a young KOC from his playing days with the Jets. So there you go. Yeah. 6'5". Wow. I feel like you don't see a lot of 6'5" guys there coaching. That's tall.
No, yeah. Like I don't think I realized it either until one of the games there, he was talking to a ref about like challenging a play or something, and he was like significantly taller than the ref. So it was more than just him being like 6 foot. He was definitely well over that. Okay. That's a great start. That's a great pick. 1-1. Now we're on to Jackie. Jackie, who is your first pick?
A surprise to absolutely no one. Matt LaFleur, Green Bay Packers head coach. I mean, like, if you know my type, that is my type. Just him. And like, great smile. He's aging very well. Just overall very attractive. That's pretty much all I know about him.
He's from Michigan. He is part of like an elite coaching staff now that all coached at Central Michigan together as grad assistants. So Brian Kelly, the LSU coach who believes in family, had LaFleur and Robert Saleh and one other really well-known person that is slipping my mind right now. We're all on the same Central Michigan coaching staff at the same time.
I will say there is a pick out there of LaFleur where it's like he's in that he's like towards the lower end of the young guys for me. Like he does look good, but like he's got like his facial hair. One picture I saw, he does that like chin strap thing where it's like he keeps it real tight to the jawline, and that's very like 2009. And I mean, just let it grow, buddy. Like he looks good in this picture, but like what are we doing? You know, Jackie, what's your guy doing there?
I don't know. If he just keeps it what this picture is, like the full beard, then we're good. I do agree with you. I don't love the like chin strap nonsense.
Yeah, not good. Not good. Aaron, Marin, Kelly, what do we think? Matt LaFleur.
I will say he was probably one of my top picks as well. But like Jackie said, we all knew she was going to pick this. So I let her take him. But I also thought this was interesting when I asked my football encyclopedia of a husband. He said that him, Kyle Shanahan, and McVay all coached under Mike Shanahan when they were all at Washington. And I'm like, wow, that's actually a pretty good trio since they are all head coaches now. So I thought that was just a fun fact. So
yeah, I had nothing because I knew Jackie was going to take him.
I also had nothing because I knew Jackie was going to take him, but originally, so I wouldn't pick him, Jackie told me that she was picking a coach from Canada.
What did I say that?
Yes, you told me that at the gym. So I came home and I said, EJ, what coach is from Canada? So I know what Jackie's picking.
I don't have any recollection of that.
Yeah, you told me he was from Canada. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
You tricked me because he's not.
Oh, why did I?
There's actually only one coach from Canada, and we'll get to him later on. That made me Google, and yeah. Yes, I was on the screen that I set for you. So any other comments here, Mike LaFleur? Great. This is someone I expected to be in your 4, even if I didn't know Jackie was going to pick him with her first pick. This is not a shocker here. Okay, Aaron, who is your first pick?
Okay, I was really torn between my first 2, but I'm kind of glad that I'm third because I should hopefully get my top 2, but we'll see. Ooh. I'm gonna go with Tomlin first.
No. Wow.
No. Wait,
wow.
Really? I thought you were going...
I'm shocked. I'm shocked the respect from Mike T this early on. Let's hear it. Aaron.
Yeah, look at that swag. Oh my gosh. And he looks so good in his in the black and yellow. No matter what he wears, he's always looking good.
That's true. He does always look good.
He is the coolest looking person ever. He's always in black, has the aviators, has the perfect beard, has the chain over top of the black. Hands down the coolest looking dude.
And he always like does something and finds the camera to do something cool. Like he'll do like that fist bump and then point at the camera. Like he's always got something going on, man. I did not think Mike D was going to go this high. That's a great pick. I think you could have got him later. Like, so I think that, you know, you could have picked him in later round. You could have got someone else now, but Mike D's, I got nothing bad to say about the man. I am not, there's a contingent, as a Steelers fan, there's a contingency that thinks that he should be fired. But I'm like, who else are you going to go get? Like, who else is realistically out there? So I love Mike T. And he's like, he's a sweet man, you know, like there was a clip recently of him talking to Cameron Hayward after Cameron's brother Connor like made a big play. And he's like, I told you this guy was a baller. And he's like talking about how much of a cool moment it is. And like, that's the stuff like that intangible type of stuff too. It just makes him more attractive as a person. And like, you know, if you guys were to get together, Aaron, you and Mike T, like he'll always be like saying like cool stuff that like you have no idea, like the standard is the standard, you know, or like, you know, like he forgets to take out the trash and he's like, we can't live in our fears. And you're like, well, I mean, I just take the trash out, but like, you know, I think he'd be, yeah, he's great. Kelly, as a fellow Steelers fan, what do you think?
I'm so mad she took him.
What? I definitely thought you were going for somebody else first.
Well, he was in he would have been my second pick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I wrote cool guy, cool glasses, cool attitude, and have you seen him on TikTok?
That's true. That's what I didn't mention, was that he is always like, he's definitely a player's coach. Like, he's always up in the celebration videos. He got everyone black Air Forces, which is just, I mean, he's very online. So yeah. Jackie, or go
I
ahead,
was just
EJ.
gonna say I can add one little thing. I can add a personal story from Mike Tomlin that I saw on the internet. So he
A personal story that you saw on the internet.
Yes, a personal story of him, not a personal story involving me.
Okay.
So just to kind of add to his personality, so one of his longtime players, Ryan Clark, was a defensive guy for the Steelers. Over the last 10 or so years,
Part of the greatest defense maybe in NFL history.
Correct. And the one thing about Ryan Clark is he has a sickle cell. So anytime the Steelers had to go to Denver, which with a couple of those years in the playoffs, it kind of lined up where they kept playing Denver, just kind of like a weird scheduling snafu. People with sickle cell can't or I don't know exactly the medical reason why, but it's not recommended playing in the elevation. I guess probably professionally, probably if you were a normal person, to be okay. So it was always kind of a thing on whether or not Clark was going to be able to play or not. And so he was telling a story about Mike Tomlin, because now he's like a TV analyst, and he said one of those games he had a team of doctors and was like, listen, they've cleared me, like I'm playing in this game. And he was telling like his positional coaches and stuff. And they're like, all right, well, you got to go talk to Mike T, right? Like go talk to Coach T, because I can't make that decision. So he went up to Tomlin and he said like XYZ. And Mike Tomlin said, if you were my child, we would not even be having this conversation. Like essentially just a full stop. I cannot, as like looking at over your best interest, let you play in this game no matter how strongly you feel about it. And then Ryan Clark, reflecting on it, said like that was one of the best moments of his life, and just how much he really appreciated Tomlin in that moment. But clearly Tomlin thinks of his players like his family, clearly, like really genuinely, and I mean that's why everyone loves to play for him.
Great pick, Aaron. Great pick. All right, Kelly.
Great pick. All right, Cal. What do you got for us here?
Okay. So I choose
you, Pikachu.
Sean McVay.
I knew it. I
know.
Knew it.
Are you guys shocked or not?
Did I not call that? I totally called that.
But I have a few reasons. So obviously he's attractive. Duh. Second, he won a Super Bowl, so also a plus. And third, Marin, he might have Goff's number. So
I knew when you said his name. Damn it, Kelly.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead, Marin. Tell us why.
Yeah. So funny enough, I had some type of inkling that this was going to come up. So I actually screenshotted it so I can actually explain to everyone. So January 20th of 2019, Jared Goff was playing for the Rams, and the Rams were playing the Saints. And so obviously I'm a married San Francisco fan, but a Saints fan myself. So the Saints were playing, so obviously I'm watching, and the Saints ended up losing. But there was some alcohol involved, to say the least there. And I thought it would be a great idea to DM Jared Goff at the end of the game. And so I said, quote, I started watching the game for the Saints, but kept watching for you. And now I have a reason to watch the Super Bowl. So, Jared Goff, if you could respond to my DM, that would
shoot your shot.
And let me tell you, Jimmy loves hearing this story.
Oh my God.
Not only are they a division rival, the Rams, but budding rivalry between Jimmy and Jared Goff for Marin's heart here. So
yeah, I know. I was really I was not hopeful that McVay was going to be still on the list coming back around, but I knew one of you would queue it up for me to share my story.
Well, with McVay, I gotta say, like, yeah, he's attractive and everything. I feel like it'd be very hard to like have a relationship with that man because he has like he has like such a good memory, like he can like remember the play that they called on 3rd and 8, like playing the Bills in like 2018, right? It's just like he's very well known for that. So like you can't slip up because this guy's gonna remember it. Like, and you can't like if you're like, I told you like to, vacuum the upstairs, he'd be like, nope, no, man, nope, here we go. This is exactly, and he will like he'll tear you up. So I just think there's no living with that guy, good looking, sure. He's a bit of a man missile, but at the end of the day, I think he's just gonna be too like laser focused. I think he almost has like a little bit of like,
he has an eidetic memory. He's talked about
yeah,
it before. So it's not photographic. It's more it's not like him being able to remember things from like a book, but visually things like Mike's been describing plays. They've asked him about it because they've tested him too, where they've like said, hey, 2 years ago in this game at this moment, what was the play call? And he can remember it. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, I could see that becoming like a negative thing. The commercial with the red flag challenge, like let's go to replay, which everyone wishes was a real thing. He could do it.
Yeah. I told you to get milk from the store. No, you didn't. No.
Yeah, but that could be a good thing, right? Because then he'd never forget your birthday.
Well, actually, that makes it worse. Because what if like he doesn't do anything for your birthday and he says I forgot? He's a liar then.
And then you know.
Yeah, but then like also, he like he's very into football. Like I could see him just like, you guys, like in bed at the end of the night, and he's got his play sheet out. Like he's just going through things. Like he's that type of guy. So that's what I'm thinking.
Having said all that, not a shocker that he was one of the first 4 picks.
No, he's
all.
on my big board. He's number 2. So,
All right, Kel, back to you. Get your second pick here.
I just want to clarify, no one has to take a shot yet, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. So I am now going to choose Cliff Kingsbury. Sorry, Marin.
Damn it. Ellie again.
He's kind of tied with my next 3. They all kind of look similar, I think. So he was just number 2, so I picked him. And currently right now he's hiding in Thailand, so no one has to he doesn't have to answer anyone's questions. So I mean, that's pretty cool.
Cliff and Sean were my 1 and 2 on my big board. Cliff's an absolute weapon of a human being. I mean, it's just so good looking.
Yeah, which is hilarious because I mean, ladies, please speak up because I think you guys actually might have differing opinions here. But like, if you ask a guy who the top 2 most attractive NFL coaches are, it's McVay and Cliff.
Yeah.
Like without hesitation. So it's really funny because I kind of caught a glimpse of it when Kelly was talking to me, but I don't necessarily think that's the case for you all. So I would love to hear why that's not the case.
I'm going to say McVay, I don't find attractive. He was not my top 8. Yeah. So, and Cliff is attractive, but he wouldn't have been like my second choice.
Oh,
They were both in my top 8. They were both in my top 8, but they were literally 7 and 8.
Yeah, I think we have very different opinions of attractive.
Clearly.
Which is why we're doing this, because I love to hear it. Because like I said, those 2 are like easy. Like if you ask any guy, it's those guys. Like I would be shocked if someone were to say anyone other than those.
Look at how cool this guy is. Look at him. Just walk around the field, just spinning the football like that. He's just so, this is back when he coached for Texas Tech. He is so fucking cool. He just oozes cool and charisma. Like, oh man, like he's in top 8. Like, come on. He's number 1 with the bullet.
I mean, he's also always got kind of like a tan. I mean, he was in
Yeah.
Texas, and now he was in Arizona, and now he's in Thailand. So the
I will
dude's just
say this
like,
picture does him no justice. The picture
no,
this headshot's terrible. You gotta get like
these
Mike
are
T
Marin's
always wears
pictures.
the sunglasses. Oh yeah, Marin, this is you just come on.
There was for the record, the slides that I made, each coach had 2 pictures. Okay.
Yeah, and this was the better
Because-
of the two.
Well-
You had some terrible pictures sometimes.
Okay, well, I tried, but the other one, he had his sunglasses on. But
Yeah.
he's number 6 on my list, and I actually went to Instagram and I found a picture, and I'm sure it's like on the sidelines when they're hot and they kind of like move their shirt to fan themselves, but the picture caught it when his shirt was kind of like up, so you could like kind of see like part of his body. And in my notes, I personally wrote "yum" next to it.
I thought you were going to tell us you saw pictures of his model girlfriend from their trips in Thailand, because let me tell you, she's not wearing very many clothes on their vacation.
Probably hot.
Yeah. Jimmy was making some
Probably, yeah.
similar comments about, what did he say? He said something about like, yeah, he's with his like hot girlfriend. I mean, a girlfriend that's probably not wearing a lot of clothes because it's hot in Thailand. He like completely tried to cover himself up. I'm like, I'm about to go rank coaches based on it. I think we're past this. Like,
yeah, I mean, candidly, she has a huge ass, and like all of the pictures and videos of her is from behind. So if we're being honest, but I think she actually is like a real model. I don't remember where, but they always talk about him and McVay dating models.
I love Cliff, man. I hope if he's not doing anything, he comes and be's offensive coordinator for Alabama. He's the best.
Okay, I have a problem. When I looked him up on Instagram, there's not many photos, but the photo I did see, he's wishing Tom Brady a happy birthday. So, like, are they friends?
I guess so. He wished birthday.
Because I don't like that.
well, you already picked him. So.
I know.
Yeah, Kelly's essentially Turtle from Entourage, who just cannot stand Tom Brady at all. I know in the episode he comes around at the end. Kelly never comes around. Tom Brady made her cry as a kid.
But like objective, like I get it. Like as a Steelers fan, he made our lives miserable, but like he's objectively a nice guy. It seems like.
Have you met him? Have you met him?
I watched the Entourage episode. That's all I needed.
That's TV.
Wait, no, well, it's actually HBO. It's not TV, it's HBO. So
I will say, I'm not a big Tom Brady fan, but my family went to the Redskins or the Commanders training camp.
yeah, get it right. We don't want to get canceled.
This was years ago, and they were practicing against Patriots, and not many Commanders teams stayed out to sign or meet the fans, and Tom Brady stayed out for a few hours and took the time to talk with the fans. So that was not a necessary thing he had to do. And my brother,
Brady's a good guy. I mean, he's a good guy. He kisses his son right on the lips, which is a little weird, but other than that, nice guy. All right.
And also, if you're wondering whether or not his new girlfriend's boobs are real, they are, according to her. So that was a big that was a big internet thing. Is his like 20-year-old girlfriend and her boobs. So, all right, Aaron, give us your next pick, number 2.
All right, solidly, Jets. Robert Saleh.
Did you do that?
Yeah, was that on purpose?
Yeah, was that on purpose?
What do you mean?
Solidly, Robert Saleh.
Oh no, but yes.
That's why I thought you were actually just gonna say Salah. That's great. I would go with it.
Yep, that's my choice. We got a little exotic vibe going on. I think he's Egyptian and Lebanese. And he's the first Muslim head coach in the NFL, which I thought was cool. So representing.
Yeah, he is a fellow Michigander as well. He's from Dearborn, which has the second largest Muslim population in the world behind Mecca. So, he's been in the news because he celebrates the Muslim religion or the different events. I think it was Ramadan. He did something pretty cool for his team when he was coaching the 49ers too. So he was their defensive coordinator prior to joining the Jets, but also a great pick. Also a very massively muscular man.
Like that.
Where's a bald head? Well, like
Yes.
that's a great trait. I think just he's really pulling off the whole Mr. Clean look. So yeah.
Yeah, I had him pretty high as well. Yeah, I just like his muscles, and like he also reminds me a little bit of like a tanner Vin Diesel, and I am a big Fast and Furious fan.
I can see that.
But yeah, he's pretty good looking with his muscles.
All about family for him too. All about family. He tells the Jets that actually every team meeting. He's like, guys, we're a family. And you don't turn your back on family. No, he doesn't. I just made that up, but he might. Well, he might. I don't know. He might.
I think he does.
He also seems like a guy that would you could get a beer with.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Well, it depends what type of what type of Islam he practices, because then you might not be able to get a beer with him. So
that is true. But he would probably still go with you, right? Like I feel like if you'd be like, "Hey, can we go to a bar and grab a drink?" He'd be like, "Well, I don't really drink." I think he'd still.
I don't even think he'd say that. I think he'd just be like, "Yeah, let's go," and then he would just order something else. Yeah. So yeah.
Anyone else? Any other commentaries? Jackie, Kelly?
My same comments was that he could pull off the bald head very well.
Bald. Oh, and it happens to be you, Jackie. What's your next pick? All of them, or which person do you?
Let me just give my rest of the 7, get it out of the way. I think I'm gonna go with Brandon Staley.
Staley.
Okay. The LA Chargers. Oh. I will say the pictures, though, I'm not sure what he looks like without a hat on, and that can be a change. Like sometimes guys look more attractive with a hat, but I just think he's cute. He has a good smile, handsome.
I absolutely hate him.
Okay.
I hate him. Can I finish my sentence here? For the listeners here, my wife is waving in my face, trying to get the microphone from me. Now he just he aggravates me from a football standpoint, and also like that's carried on into other things. So he's super into analytics, and so he's one of those people like when you're watching the game, because I really want to root for the Chargers. They have the most beautiful jersey in the NFL, hands down. They have a wonderfully great quarterback, and they just underachieve. And I think it's because of him, but he does like really questionable things because he's just over the top analytics. But then I saw a video of him recently. So that annoyed me the first part. Then second, they showed a video of him warming up, and you know how like players and coaches, like they warm up and everything. No big deal. He was doing like yoga and like downward dogging it on the sidelines, and it was ridiculous. He was dry humping the sideline.
Well, I mean, he might be into the Karma Sutra, which would be great, like he's gonna wow you in the bedroom, Jackie, and then very possibly. But on the downside to that, going back to the analytics, if it's like, okay, what do you want to eat tonight? He's gonna be like, pull out his computer, and then, well, there's gonna be a 47% chance that if we get Thai food, I'm gonna have an upset tummy. And then let me crunch the numbers on pizza here. So pepperoni and cheese, yeah, that's got a 91% approval chance. But if we throw in sausage, and it's nothing but numbers then. So
all right, I didn't know all of that. I'm just going off of looks.
Well, that's why we're here, to bring in the intangibles.
I will say that Jimmy did also show me the video of him doing, they're called like cat camels, I think, or what they are called, that he was doing. And so yeah, Jimmy was like, that's kind of weird for him to be.
Well, it would have been
cat cow
shared with me.
I literally, this was like 30 minutes before when I was asking him questions about all these people.
Okay.
All right, Jackie, he was in my top 10.
What?
I put haircuts, but I don't know why I put haircuts, because when I find the picture of him without a hat on, he looks better with a hat.
Yes.
So I don't know what haircut meant.
Maybe he would look better with a haircut.
Maybe. And he played football at our college. So he got bumped up a little bit just because of that.
He went to Mercyhurst?
He did for a year. So I remember when he was like before he took the Chargers job, the Lions, I think, needed a coach at that time too. And so that got brought up a ton. He did one, like I think it was before Toledo. He did D2 and then went to Toledo. Then he did like a D1 max school, I believe. But yeah, he did 1 year at Mercyhurst. He was the quarterback.
Hmm.
I know. The more you know.
Yeah, small world.
I know. All right, Marin. What's
back to
what's your next
back
pick?
here?
Yes, I know. I didn't want I mean, I like having the first pick, but I didn't want it because it's making me nervous going back to back. It's like you got to have 2 set because then you're not up for a while, but that's okay. Okay.
We're really good at like we can help delay, and we can really help you.
We'll kill dead air. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No,
Don't you worry.
It's okay. I have my list. I'm just trying to mentally decide where I'm going with it. But okay, I think my next pick, even though I'm not a fan of the team, I'm gonna go with Nick. How do you say his last name?
Sirianni.
Sirianni, yes.
No, don't move that picture.
I don't know, his like beard and scruff, like I don't know, I like how his face looks, and the pictures I was
Great comment there. I love how his face
well,
looks.
no, it's more because when you like look at someone's face, you're like, oh, okay, like it's either like you can pick out different things about it, but I don't know, it's a longer face. I don't know, I liked all the pictures I was finding of him, so
I know. Instead of just saying he's like hot or attractive, you're like, I really like his
how his face looks.
well,
Like
you
when
guys
you're
are
looking at someone and you're trying to just pick things, his face.
Aaron, he's your head coach. How do we feel?
I'm so mad. He was my next pick. He's so great because he's a winner, right, Marin? He's a winner.
Yes, he is, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure he's Italian, right?
Yeah. So Mike's brother Nick is head coach of W&J, where I went to school. And they both played college ball at Mount Union and stuff like that. And obviously, W&J is D3, and here's Nick in the NFL. So I will say that while I don't know Nick Sirianni, I do know Mike Sirianni, and Mike, like, good coach. Like, we always had really good teams. We're always winning our conference, but terrible pregame speeches. Like, we played Oberlin, and like his pregame speech was basically just yelling at us that like they're a band school, and he always like swears a lot, like just like swearing too much, like saying fuck just for the sake of saying it, like just saying they're a fucking band school, like we gotta beat them, like because I guess they have a really good band, and like we went out and like stomped them 62-0 because they're a band school. But like right before we went out of the locker room, this was my freshman year, he yells, I hope they brought their lube because we're gonna shove their fucking trumpets up their fucking asses. And I'm like, that's like, we all just kind of looked around like, what the, like, it's just not a good way to like get you fired up. But then the last game of my freshman year, like, and this is like all year long, just like he's just cursing a ton, like that's his pregame speeches. We went to Waynesburg and we had to beat Waynesburg to win the conference, and he just comes in very calm, and he just looks around and he goes, I killed 2 Waynesburg's the Yellow Jackets. He says, I killed 2 yellow jackets at my daughter's soccer game this morning. Let's go out and kill 100 more. Turns around and walks out. And we all just kind of looked around like, all right, yeah, like, let's go do this. Like, that was, we just got fired up. And I'm like, sometimes less is more. So that's my Sirianni family story there. And he is a man missile, very hot, very attractive. So, good pick.
The only thing I know about Sirianni is he had arguably the worst introductory introductory press conference as a new head coach last year that I've ever seen. Like, it was bad. He fumbled through it, got words wrong. Like, he was like nervous, I guess. And it was bad because then a lot of people were like, if he can't even articulate his vision for the team, how the hell is he going to like teach players and coach players? Clearly it was, just one of those moments. And he figured it out. But it was really terrible. That was my first impression
last night.
Yeah,
he went off
I know.
Times.
Yelling at the refs. I was just gonna say, and then you juxtapose that to this year, and he was yelling at the refs, saying like, "I'm allowed to fucking be down here. Like, I know what the fuck I'm doing," screaming at the refs. So
I hope you brought your lube because I'm gonna shove your whistle up your ass. Yeah,
I mean, I think that was next. I think he said that as he got away from the mic.
Right.
We're just intense. We're just intense people, okay?
Philly's like grown him. It's changed him. All right, Marin, why don't you give us your next one?
Okay.
Don't do it.
Well, you took one of my picks, so I think I'm
gonna do it.
Oh, actually, I think I know who your next pick is, but I was debating, but I don't think I'm gonna pick him. But I think I'm gonna go with Kyle Shanahan for San Fran. I feel like I don't know. I mean, I feel like if you ask people, like, he's like decently attractive to like most people. I also think that, speaking of which, I think the 49ers just scored, fun fact.
What?
Yep, I think that they did because Jimmy also just yelled. So, but I think it's really cool. Jimmy said that I guess I always, when we would watch games together with his hat, he would always have like a different hat than like most of the other coaches. And he liked to wear like a particular hat that he was choosing. And I guess the NFL had issues with it because it wasn't one of like their hats. So he actually created his own like brand of hats, which I think is pretty cool. But I mean, he seems, I don't know, pretty like, I mean, overall, like pretty chill. And I mean, he's just attractive too. So there's my pick.
He was on my list, Marin, and my reason was hats. So.
Yeah, he's well known for wearing like young people hats, snapbacks, and not like old people hats, and that has gotten him in trouble with the NFL as far as like what he's allowed to wear. So, that's like the biggest character thing of his is his hats.
Yeah. As a fellow hat lover, love that. He's part of the whole Wonder Kid group that we talked about too with McVay and everyone that was on that staff for the Commanders. So yeah. Good stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Jackie. Oh, yeah. It's Jackie.
All right. I'm going to go with Kevin Stefanski.
Are we serious right now?
Everyone else is picking my people. So
I knew that was Aaron's next pick. I knew it.
We talked about this.
I know.
I'm sorry. We're running out of a lot of options.
Come on. I would have won.
Oh,
yes, that is up to 4, Jackie. You are back up to 4.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Of course.
These shots, I know I owe 3 separate ones, EJ and I's bet. Do I have to take them all in one night?
No.
Yes.
No. I said no first, so that's what we're gonna go with.
Also, I'm also gonna clarify, and I'm probably gonna get the next one, so I'm putting my foot in my mouth here. But you actually have to consume the shot, Jackie. It does not go over your shoulder.
Yeah.
And you have to do it in under 30 seconds.
What a
Okay,
dig.
my shots last night, I told you, I was like, I think about EJ's comment of whether
Timed you.
I know I got faster last night, okay? Because now I'm peer pressuring myself internally because I know you guys judge me on how slow I take mine, but just
so we're clear here, Jackie, the 3 shots that you owe me from our previous bet, you absolutely have to do together. You're lucky I let you take that other one separately. This one, I mean,
3 one night, and then this one, and if I get more, another night.
We'll see.
Okay.
But I'm also not going to allow you to take this without supervision because of your shenanigans.
I will take the shots. Then let's also clarify, Erin is known to just dump hers into her drink. You have to actually take the shot.
Just one time.
What do you mean one time? You do that all the time. And then you don't finish your drink.
That's kind of a pro move, though. That's a good move. I do that too. That's nice right there.
That was
Yeah.
strong.
So Kevin Stefanski is a great pick.
Well, Jackie didn't give her full reasoning because I started playing LMFAO. So Jackie, let's hear it.
Love the little like salt and pepper in the beard. That's very attractive. Again, his smile. Apparently, I'm a big fan of a good smile. He has a great jawline. And that's pretty much.
No, I actually, I agree. Like, great smile, salt and pepper beard, great jawline. Like, I actually wrote all of that. He's the epitome of a silver fox. Yeah. I noticed though he is from Philly, and I'm like, he doesn't seem like he seems more of like a Delco guy than a Philly guy. Like, and he just, I don't know. I looked at him and I'm like, man, he just seems like a cool dude, man. So I don't know. I hate the Browns, but I never really appreciated Stefanski until we started preparing for this draft. So yeah, he's like number 1 in the Silver Fox. Like, I think he's above some of the young studs because he's just such a good Silver Fox. So that's a strong pick.
So my 2 thoughts with him was, one, the last name Stefanski didn't need like a phonetic spelling, Marin, in your you literally, all you did was break down his last name into 3 syllables. So just so you know, not necessary. And second, his beard, like, he definitely has bought one of those stencil things, because there's stencils that you can put on your face so you make sure that you have like a connection perfect. His beard is always flawless, and it's kind of hard because the picture's small in this PowerPoint, but it is just always perfect. So I am convinced he has one of those stencils so that it's a perfect swoop there, just so you know.
I actually thought it was Stefanski, so not
EJ.
I appreciate Marin's spelling or breaking up of the names for someone who can't decode. So
yeah.
Kelly, are you Polish?
What?
Are you part Polish?
Yeah, some. Why?
Like, I mean, how you not know how to say a Polish last name?
Because when I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, how do you say that last name?
You grew up in Pittsburgh too. Like, you learned that in school. Like,
no.
You also teach it.
Erin? Well, again, I appreciate Marin's breaking up of all the last names, so thank you. And Jackie, not in this picture, but in some of the other pictures, I said he really looks like Jake Gyllenhaal. Not this one. Yeah, that's why he got moved up when I was like looking at other pictures.
I gotta look into this.
Yeah, he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal a little bit.
What?
I can see it.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Okay. Yeah.
Good pick for me.
Uh-huh.
Then I also think that he looks like you guys watch Yellowstone? Anyone?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he does look like Jamie.
Yeah, the brother that's the one that no one likes or something. I don't watch it, but I was going to give you guys a Hunger Games reference too, because he's the game maker in the first Hunger Games, but that actor. But yeah, that's what I think of when I see him.
Oh, what's his name?
So a very solid choice.
Very solid choice.
All agreeing.
Okay, Erin, hit us with your next one.
Well, seeing as my last My next two are already taken. I'm gonna go with EJ. You'll like me for this. I'm gonna go with your man, Dan Campbell.
MCDC. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I like a well-statured man, and he looks a little beefy.
He's not just a little beefy. He is very beefy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, then. I win!
Back-to-back shots.
What do I win again?
A shot.
You gotta take a shot.
Oh, right. Okay. Darn. They made like a Target gift card.
Aaron, did you just forget all the clarification?
Yeah, I did. I just heard the music and I got really excited. I'm a winner. All right. Well, yeah.
Aaron, so I have actually, I told Kelly this because there's a fun fact about him, and we both agreed that it was you that it matched with, and it's hilarious that you picked him. So one, not only was he a professional player, still keeps it very fit. He was a tight end for many, many years, so he's a big dude as well. Similar to O'Connell, I think he's like 6'3" or 4", and well over 250 a muscle. But he also, during Hard Knocks, so he did a lot of interviews at the beginning of the year because the Lions were on Hard Knocks on HBO, and he drinks 4 venti quad shot espressos every day. So I was like, does anyone really drink a lot of coffee? And both of us were like, Aaron. So you two would get along great because he consumes massive amounts of caffeine and also likes to drink beer at the end of the day.
Oh my gosh. Perfect.
The only thing I had written next to him was hell yeah, because I'm like, I don't know how much like there I would run out of time. It's well documented on our Hard Knocks episodes how much I love MCDC. Motor City Dan Campbell is the man. So yeah, he's awesome. He'd be a great time. Oh my gosh, him on first date. You guys would probably end up at like a biker bar singing like I don't know,
Metallica.
No, like Def Leppard or something like that, man. Like, yeah, he's awesome.
I also feel like he would also be like at the bar and he would be like, let's play beer pong or let get something like started, with everyone too. So
For sure. I think that the only thing is that like if you don't like this, I think that I had a defensive coordinator once that during film, he would drink an entire pot of coffee and chew like a half a can of Copenhagen and not spit. Like at the end of it, just the Copenhagen would no longer be in his lip and the pot of coffee would be gone because he guts it. And like, I feel like that Dan Campbell definitely guts his Cope. So yeah.
I mean, he definitely chews. I think there could be an argument made, and it's not just because he's the Lions coach, but he could probably be top 3 hangouts of all of these coaches.
By far and away.
Top 3.
I think Aaron's team is definitely the coaches
coolest.
I want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Most. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They got the swag.
Good time team.
Yeah.
For sure.
also, if you're noticing, they're all like the burly, stocky muscle.
Yeah.
As well.
I like that. Respect. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you. Look out for the bigger boys.
I like a teddy bear.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Does Aaron have a type, or does Aaron have a type?
I was just going to say, I think we're starting to see all of your guys' types, though. I'm really not liking where Kelly's trending, though.
Yeah, EJ, you are in big trouble, buddy. 2 of the most classically handsome. No, hey, you're a gem in my book, pal.
Thanks, Mike. All right, well, with that, Kelly, what's your next picks?
Well, I'm going to go with an average guy named Zach Taylor.
Average is a very good way to describe him.
He's an average guy. But here's the thing. I have this thing in fantasy where you don't pick people that your team plays like their rival. He's the Steelers' rival, so it's hard for me to pick him. But my other fantasy team did good, so I feel like this team has to do good too. And when looking up facts about him, he takes the game ball and goes out to the bar and gives it to a fan. That's such an average guy thing to do. He's an average guy.
I had averages in like, I just look at Zach Taylor and I think that he's like the beta of all of his friend groups. Like if you're, and like EJ, you might like follow me on this one. Like we all have different friends groups, right? And there's like a tiering structure amongst the guys in the friend group. And like, I don't think that he's the alpha in any one of them. Like that's just the way he is. So
I will say I feel like that's a perception. I feel like he's one of those guys that if the cameras were around him more, it'd be different. Not to say he'd be the alpha by any means, but I would say I've been shocked at like hearing him just post game, and obviously he did this for when they went to the Super Bowl last year. He went back to a Cincinnati bar once he got back into town after they flew back from Kansas City and went out that night. And that's where this kind of game ball tradition thing started. But I think he's cooler than we might think. But I agree with you on how what I've seen so far. Yes, he might be cooler than we think, though.
who was a cooler tradition in Cincinnati bars, him or Urban Meyer?
Ayo. Okay, ladies. Judging by your lack of response there, Urban Meyer was doing some inappropriate things with
Urban Meyer stayed in Cincinnati after Jacksonville played Cincinnati and went out to the bar and like stuck his finger up young girls' butts. So there's that. So
That guy doesn't do that.
I also will say Zach Taylor, I believe, used to play, and I think he's also someone taller than we think. I don't think he's 6'5", but I think he's over pretty handily over 6 foot. Mike, you might need to correct
that
me.
might change my perception of him. He's 6'2".
Yeah, see, he's taller than you'd think. So
yeah,
he's also.
I had him pegged at like 5'11". So.
Yeah. Anyone else got any Zach Taylor comments?
I would probably agree with Kelly of like he's an average guy. I mean, he's cute, like, you know. Yeah.
I will say Zach with just ZAC kind of makes me question, right? That kind of makes you turn your head, but you know.
That spelling?
I mean, eventually he did. Like if you were a kid and your parents told you ZAC and you hated it, you can always put the H on the end if you wanted. Okay, judging by Kelly's face, that's wrong. So why don't you give us your next pick, Kel?
All right, I'm really torn because I could go one of two ways. I don't know who to pick, but I don't want to skip my turn.
Don't choose mine.
I don't think, Aaron, these are your guys.
Okay. So far, so good.
All right, I'm going to go with Sean McDermott. And because everyone loves the Bills, I feel like he would be a cool guy to hang out with. And he also is friends with Mike Tomlin. So, Aaron, we can hang out.
Yay! Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, McDermott's just very, very cool. And yeah, I don't know, like Bills are, I mean, obviously, unless you're like a Jets, Dolphins, or a Patriots fan, I feel like everyone kind of likes to see the Bills successful, Bills Mafia. And I feel like embodies that pretty well.
I would agree. I guess is more like our silver foxes, as we could be classifying some of them. I definitely had him more at the top as well. But yeah, he seems like he does seem pretty cool, and he seems like overall like more level-headed. I mean, obviously, like coaching professional football, you're gonna have your moments, but yeah.
I think with both of these picks, like Zach Taylor and McDermott, we can't not talk about the whole Damar Hamlin thing, and the way both of these guys handled it was awesome. So, and like, yeah, just good guys, really care about their players. Yeah.
I will say the only potential like negative with him, I think it's a good thing we see him with his hat on. I don't know that bald looks great on him.
I think he can rock it.
I think it's okay. That's not Salah, right?
He's not Salah. No.
but it's not the worst bald head, but I think wearing hats does him justice.
Yeah, he was up there for me, but when I saw a picture of him without his hat on, I was like, ooh.
Oh,
He just goes, ooh, darn.
wow. Well, you got the picture with the hat, so you're good.
And I don't have to take a shot, so I'm not changing.
Aw, man.
That's
Yeah, so
that's really why Kelly's happy with her pick.
yeah, there's only one more left. Ooh,
Who's it gonna be?
I know. All right, Aaron, what's your next one?
All right. I am gonna go with. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna go with Lovey Smith.
That's who I was gonna pick next.
Look at
That's-
that beard. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, his beard is
I mean, come on.
on
I got the
point.
beards. I got the bald heads. I got the beef. Look at that. He just looks so wise, but then he looks like he could still throw down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a boss. I like him.
Yeah, and this year he also allegedly, because Houston was in line to be the first overall pick going into the last week of the year, so all they had to do was lose, and they ended up winning. And a lot of people were like, "What the heck?" And then he got fired. And allegedly, allegedly he knew he was getting fired before the game and gave the organization the big middle finger by winning that meaningless game.
Dang.
So that does make him even more of a boss.
Yeah, he's a little badass. I like him.
I
Good
love
for
Lovie
him.
Smith.
Aaron, I wrote Santa beard next to his name.
I believe I said that last night.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Look at my team. My squad is great. I like my squad.
I mean, also his name is Lovey, so
I
that
know.
gets like points too, right? I
Mhm.
mean, you've never heard of another Lovey.
Exactly.
He's the
Um,
man. Been around the league forever. Aaron, you have a murderer's row of guys I want to hang out with.
I like my squad.
Hell yeah.
All right, Jackie, who's next now that your pick's gone?
I'm gonna go with John Harbaugh. What do you say his name?
Harbaugh. Just Harbaugh. Not
Harbaugh.
Bog. Bah.
I mean, I don't really have like a ton to say about him. He has like a nice smile again. I mean, because of Abby and Doug,
Sure.
I guess I like the Ravens for him.
Mhm.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I'm running out of comments for some of these coaches.
I was just gonna say you could make the argument he's the better brother. I mean, I don't
it's
think
not a
that's
hard competition.
saying much. So his brother is also a coach at Michigan, the University of Michigan, Jim Harbaugh. And they played each other in the Super Bowl a few years back when Jim was still the 49ers coach. Yeah, honestly, John's actually one that I don't really know that much about, other than obviously he's been in Baltimore for forever. But
So
obviously these Steelers fans have,
I have him
feelings.
far down the list because, like, I mean, Jim's craziness, there's got to be some of that rubbing off on John. Maybe we just don't see it as much. And also, like, yeah, you got to be part of the Harbaugh family if you're hooking up with John. And that just seems like a pill I don't want to swallow. So, yeah, get me as far away from that freak show as much as possible. But, yeah, so.
So
I mean, objectively attractive, but
Sure. Yeah, I'd agree.
the first thought that comes to mind when you start talking about the brothers is when they were in the Super Bowl. In that Super Bowl was the one where they had the issues with like the lights and everything. And I saw on some form of social media that they did some like meme of them. And it was like, like John, it was like, Mom, he turned the lights off. And then it was like their blurbs like going back and forth. And I just always giggle when I like think of like the brothers and everything, because that's what I think of. So
that was at your stadium. That was at the Superdome.
that's right. It was. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure like that's funny, Marin, because I'm pretty sure the Niners were up at half when that happened
They
too. So there
were.
was like conspiracies around why that
The
happened.
Niners were kicking that ass, and then the lights went out, came back on, and the Ravens just took over and ended up winning the game. So, yeah. Also, I hate the Ravens. So, John Harbaugh.
That was like pre-marriage 49ers fan for me. So I just remember the lights from the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Fucking Joe Flacco plays one great postseason.
And he's a champion, forever a champion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Marin, like take us to the halfway point here.
All right. So speaking of the Superdome and New Orleans, I have to take the Saints coach, Dennis Allen. I mean, it's the Saints coach. Need I say more? That's where my reason is going to be. So, yep.
He was someone that I couldn't find any meaningful information on.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
I mean, okay.
Go ahead, Marin.
Oh, I was going to say, I mean, coming from a Saints fan, I mean, the Sean Payton, Drew Brees, I mean, it's obviously like everyone loves that. I mean, I have a Drew Brees jersey too. So, if I really had to like choose a Saints coach, I think that's more of like where I would go, but he's the current coach, so can't hate on, well, we didn't have a great season, so can't hate on him a little bit, but.
I wrote big visor guy next to his name, Marin.
Probably like visors.
I don't like visors. What?
Do you like them?
No.
I like a good visor.
I know, Erin, you look
visors
fine in a visor. I don't, so I don't like people that wear them besides you.
It's also a different conversation with women wearing visors and men.
All right, I could see that.
Men wearing visors, no more. It sounds like such a cool idea, right? Oh, my hair's not gonna fall out. I'm not gonna bald because I have the air, and I can. Yeah, that's a thing. If you wear hats, that's why you look at any golfer. All those golfers are balding because they.
That's a
wear hats all
wives'
the time.
tale. That's an
I was going to say, is that true?
That's an
It is
wives'
definitely a wives' tale. I don't know if there's scientific fact. There's a lot of people that believe it though. But then you think like, oh, I can like zhuzh up my hair and still wear a hat. It's ridiculous. It's nonsense.
I mean, that was like, oh God, how old was I in 6th grade?
Right, exactly. Yeah, it goes back a while.
Yeah.
2000.
I remember I had Tennessee Titans visor. I thought it was, or no, Tar Heels. My buddy had a Titans one. I had a North Carolina Tar Heels one. I thought it was the coolest shit because I had that. I rocked that thing all over the place, backwards, upside down, like Nelly or whoever was wearing it. It wasn't Nelly.
Like Jared Goff. Goff has a very famous picture. What's the Malibu's Most Wanted?
Yes,
he did that for Halloween.
Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah, and he did that for Halloween. So he has a picture because the Lions, like, people post it, not the official team, but like fans and stuff always post pictures when he does something good. So he has like this picture of him doing this, and he has like the fake earrings and the visor that's on sideways and backwards. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, absolute scenes in elementary school.
Okay. All right, we are at the halfway point here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick recap on who everyone has. But I think a fun way to do this recap is I'm going to ask all of you, and all I need is just the answer. I don't need the explanation. I'm going to ask you as I read these names for your person. Are they boyfriend material? Are they husband material? Or are they I need to end this drought I'm in material?
Slump busters.
Yes, slump busters. So, Marin, your first pick was Kevin O'Connell. Which one is he?
Oh gosh, this is a lot.
This is like a would you rather icebreaker that we do for the kids.
Yeah.
Would you rather? Oh my god, that's great. Wait, what were the options again?
Boyfriend material, husband material, or slump buster?
Oh gosh. I feel like he's like husband material. Like he looks like he's pretty solidly a husband material.
All right, and then your second pick was Nick Sirianni.
I feel like he's boyfriend material. Like he
Okay.
still has like a slight edge that you're still like, do I know everything about you? Are you telling me everything? I think you are, but
Fair. Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan.
I don't know. I also feel like he's boyfriend material too.
Nah, he's got his own company. He's a provider.
That's okay. That's
not
true.
material.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh. I swear every time I talk about Shanahan, Jimmy starts yelling. I don't know if you guys can hear it. But...
I will say though, like from looks, especially with his hat, he kind of has a fuckboy look. Like now, whether or not that, there's something behind that, but just like if I were to see him, that would be my reaction. All right,
Yeah.
Dennis Allen.
I don't know. I feel like maybe if you're just in a slump.
Got it. Slump buster. Love it. All right, Jackie. Matt LaFleur.
Husband.
Brandon Staley.
Boyfriend.
Kevin Stefanski.
Husband.
And John Harbaugh.
You're in a slump.
Love it. Aaron.
That was a great job, Jackie. That was a great job.
Your first pick, Mike Tomlin.
Husband.
Your second pick, Robert Saleh.
Husband.
Your third pick, Dan Campbell.
Boyfriend.
And your fourth pick, Lovie Smith.
He's the drought guy. What'd you say?
He's the slump buster.
Yeah, I think
Lovie Smith.
All right, Kelly, your first pick, Sean McVay.
Drought.
Oh.
Are they all gonna be drought?
Wow.
Cliff Kingsbury, your second pick.
Also drought.
Your third pick, Zach Taylor.
Boyfriend.
And your fourth pick, Sean McDermott.
Husband.
Oh my gosh.
Very
Even
interesting.
opposite.
Yeah.
Okay, so then why don't we get started and get to the second half of this draft? So back to Marin at the top.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with Mike McDaniel from Miami.
There it is.
Oh,
There it
man.
is.
I mean, someone has to take him, but I don't know. I feel like he like kind of seems like the goofy guy, and like he's like trying to fit in with, all.
Oh, come on. Are you serious? Mike McDaniel?
Oh yeah, Mike McDaniel would love to
12.
pound some shots.
He's 12.
I know.
No.
But he looks like you have some of these coaches that are like have been in this business and everything. He's like trying to like fit in with everyone. Yes, he is definitely young. I also saw some video, I think it was on Instagram, and he was like walking around while like the players were stretching or something, obviously like at practice. And he's like strutting his stuff, like trying to like act like, Mr. Cool Guy and everything. And it was just kind of a goofy video of him.
Okay, I saw that video. I know exactly what you're talking about. So I did put dance moves.
Yeah.
I put, okay, that earns him some points, but he can't be that young because he's not the oldest. Sean McVay's the youngest, right?
He's 40.
He's 40?
Marin's age.
Yeah.
Okay. To clarify.
There's no way that guy is 40. Are you serious?
Just ask what his skincare routine is.
I was just thinking that. We definitely need to know. We know he wears sunscreen.
Every day, even at night. Oh my God.
So sorry, to clarify, he's 39, but yes, he's basically 40 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel is 1,000% a funny, dorky dude, and he embraces it wholeheartedly,
Mhm.
and that's what makes him like hilarious. I think he's arguably the funniest of all the coaches. And we've only gotten to see him 1 year, right? Like I know obviously Niners fans, he came from San Francisco, so other fan base, like they might have a little bit more interviews with him and whatnot, but Yeah, he has been hilarious. I sent you guys the pictures of him with double hoop earrings like 10 years ago, which was shocking to say the least. He wouldn't surprise me if he had piercings elsewhere. He just seems like that kind of a dude. But
Like where, EJ?
like I have met nipple piercings. So I have met a guy that I played hockey with, and it was not someone I ever thought in a million years would have nipple piercings, but he did. And also a guy we went to college with. Remember? Okay, there was a guy we went to college with that had nipple rings as well. It started off as a joke, and then he kept them, which I thought was.
I think I
not
know
funny,
who this
but
is.
I think that's a awesome pick. I think that is a sleeper pick because
yeah, he's
a
got
guy that can
swagger
make
up the ceiling.
Yeah, he has swagger. He's very comfortable within his skin, and if he can make you laugh, right?
Mm-hmm. That can go far. I mean,
I can see that.
That's how I got married.
Marin next to him. The first time I wrote dorky. Then EJ showed me a video of him at a press conference, and he said, well, now that I'm the head coach, I have to look presentable, so I have to shower every day. So that's all the information I have on him.
You didn't shower every day.
So he was making a joke that, like, as a head coach, like, what's different? And he said, oh, well, when I was just a coordinator, I could go Monday through Wednesday without showering and no one would notice. But he's like, I can't get away with that now. Ha ha ha. So that was his joke that Kelly did not think was funny, apparently. Okay, Jackie, next one.
All right. I'm gonna go with Brian Daboll, not on looks, purely because I'm a Giants fan and I think he's done well for us. Obviously, we made the playoffs and we haven't in years. So I think starting point, we're building. We have some potential there. Don't find him attractive, but just because he's the Giants head coach.
And Jackie, you found the Canadian. He is the one Canadian born in Ontario.
That's what we thought was going to be my first pick.
Oh my god.
Well, when I saw, I was like, there's no way. And then EJ was like, he's the Giants coach. And I was like, well, maybe.
Jackie, fun fact for you. He coached Jalen Hurts for a little bit.
Oh,
He did.
Oh,
yesterday.
So, maybe there was a little tension last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty awesome guy. He came from Buffalo. This is his first year coaching, a head coach. He was the offensive coordinator in Buffalo. Drives
offensive
a really
coordinator at Alabama before that.
There you go. And he drives a really big ass truck because I remember seeing him walking into the Giants facility for the first time when he was being introduced as their head coach. So also looks like a fun guy. And I think he could take down some wings in Buffalo. I'll tell you that.
Sure he could.
He's also a guy I think you could be like, hey, game's over. Do you want to go grab some wings and a beer? And he'd be like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I really don't like the dig at the looks wise physically. Like, I mean, just I'm bald and goatee, not the best look, but I mean, he's a big old teddy bear. Come on. And I'm sure he'd be, wonderful to go out on a date with. Like he got your Giants all fired up. I saw the videos of them in the locker room last week. Just have a great time. So I think you're a little harsh on him. I'm just gonna say on the physical aspect piece, but
maybe the personality will build the attraction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, Aaron, what's your next pick?
All right, I'm gonna go with. All right, I'm gonna go with Mike Vrabel, and I'll tell you, I learned a little something about him. In 2011, he was arrested for a Class D felony because he stole some stuff at a casino. So I feel like he's gonna be a good time.
He's a bad boy. I think that on your squad, you got like if you went out with Dan Campbell and Mike Vrabel, like that would be a hell of a time.
Yeah, I like that. He's a little badass. So
I was going to say, so Sean Payton, the New Orleans old coach, Dan Campbell was his assistant head coach before we hired him, the Lions. And when people were asking about Dan Campbell and what kind of coach he'd be, they literally said he'd be the offensive version of Mike Vrabel.
Oh my God.
And Aaron, I am terrified of your group. Like, also, if you ever needed to like go into a dangerous spot, like you have the squad.
I actually want to see a season of The Bachelorette where like it's Aaron and these guys. I think that they would like, no offense, but Aaron, I think they just ignore you and they would just be living it up, like just living their best life. Like if they don't get a rose, they're like, well, can I still stay in the house and just party it up with the fellas? Like,
I mean, you also have like the squad that could like put on pads for the most part and like go and play.
Yeah.
Like if you were going to play like flag football, if your guys' teams are going to play flag football against each other, like you got the squad.
I think I would lose that.
Well, by far. Marin, I was just looking at your squad. You guys would get smoked. Absolutely smoked. I think Aaron's team needs a little bit more offense. And well, I guess I'm sure that MCDC could definitely get some passes across the middle, but like, let's see. Kelly's squad you have Kingsbury quarterback. That'd be pretty good.
Hey, McVay was Mr. Football in Atlanta or in all of Georgia in his senior year of high school.
That's true.
Beating out Calvin Johnson. A little fun fact for you. Yeah, Vrabel's awesome, and yeah, Kelly has a fact here.
He was drafted as a Steeler.
Liked him, right?
So yeah, he was gonna be my pick, Aaron.
Oh no.
Who you got now, Kelly?
Now, of course, I have Pete Carroll.
Oh,
yeah. That was going to be my next pick.
That was going to be mine too.
My only reason is because he's 71 years old and looks like that. And he's ready to retire any day. And so am I. So I feel like our paths are both headed to retirement.
Oh my God.
This is the second coach I can't fucking stand. It's Brandon Staley and it's Pete Carroll. And I hate Pete Carroll because he is the ultimate cheerleader. All he does is on the sideline, chew his goddamn gum. He puts 7 packs of Bubblicious in his goddamn mouth and he just sits there and chews the gum and claps and runs up and down and jumps around. Ugh.
What? So what?
Ugh.
What? I think he looks awesome chewing his gum up and down the sidelines like that, man.
No, he is the polar opposite of Mike Tomlin. I would much prefer just that cool, calm guy instead of the dude that's like tweaking out on the sideline.
I mean, the only time I think he really tweaked out is probably the Marshawn Lynch. Well, didn't call Marshawn Lynch to run the damn ball to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. That's the only time I think he got a little bit too geeked out. Probably needed an extra pack of Bubblicious to help calm him down and do the right thing on that one, but
I just can't do it. I don't know. Something about him. Just one of those guys. When we were going through this list and Kelly was asking me questions too about like what I knew off the top of my head, that was like Staley and Carroll were the two that I were like, I just can't stand them. But hey.
But I feel like for like being 70, like he still is like an attractive like person, like
and energetic.
What he is. He also just like if you were to just look at him and not know that he coaches football, he also I feel like would be like a great like grandfather. Like he would, just like hang out, like take you to your games, like find fun things to do. Like he has like a sense of that if you didn't know he was a football coach.
Buy your bubble gum.
Don't hate on that.
Okay, Cal, what's your next one?
Okay, next I'm gonna go with Matt Rule because EJ told me he went to Baylor, which is in Waco. So I think he knows Chip and Joanna.
Mm-hmm.
If that was not the most woman response and reason why, I don't know what is.
Wait, who's Chip and Joanna?
Gaines.
Oh, my-
Aaron, Chip and
Fixer
Joanna
upper.
Gaines,
That doesn't help me. Who's that?
Fixer
Fixer
Upper.
Upper.
It's an
What is
HG.
that?
It was like the HGTV show that like really, cemented that whole genre of like fixing things up. Like if you go to Target, there's a whole Joanna Gaines section now. They actually have their own network now, the Magnolia Network.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Once you mentioned
They're like the
Target,
cutest
I know.
couple. They're the cutest couple of all time. I love Chip and Joe. I love Chip. Like,
Yeah.
Joe's great, but Chip, like, I want to hang out with Chip big time. He's the man. I don't think the Chip and Joe. Well, Chip and Joe would be nice to anyone, but Matt Rule seems like a dickhead. So I don't think that he would get. I don't think that. He doesn't seem like their type of people.
But he probably knows them. That's why I picked him.
I mean, like.
He had RG3 on the show. I mean, he's a pretty big Baylor fan, and I guarantee you they were very famous when Rule was still there.
I'm sure that they met, but I don't think that like Chip and Joe are hanging out with Matt Rule.
Maybe we should Google it. I bet you we can find the pics.
I'm sure that they have met him because they do love Baylor. But
all right, Aaron, what's your next one?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Andy Reid.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna take Andy Reid and keep the train rolling. Keeping the train rolling, Aaron. Yes.
All right. For 3 reasons. Okay, 3 reasons. 1, he's a winner, right? Kansas City. Hello.
Yes.
2, former Eagles coach, obviously. And 3, the commercials. Hello. He's hilarious. He's so good at those commercials. Are you kidding me? He's such a natural.
Great pick,
he fits
Aaron.
in. He fits in. I like
This man, after winning the Super Bowl, was asked, because again, he's been heralded as one of the greatest coaches that had never won one until Kansas City, right? Where it was always that like monkey on his back, and he finally wins this and really cements his legacy. And they asked him, what's the best thing about winning the Super Bowl? And he said, I don't have to pay for a cheeseburger anywhere in this town.
My man.
That is what he did. He loves cheeseburgers so much that this year his team gifted him in a wrapped present a cheeseburger.
I did not know that, but that's endearing.
I love Andy Reid. I mean, if Mike Tomlin wasn't the coach, I could choose literally anyone else. It'd probably be, it would be Andy Reid. I was gonna say someone else, but yeah, it would definitely be him because the other guy's just a good college coach. But yeah, Andy Reid for sure. Oh man.
I also
Great
wrote
pick, Aaron.
Hawaiian shirt guy.
Yes.
Next
Yes.
to-
Loves
Yes.
wearing Hawaiian shirts. Another reason.
In
Great
that picture that
mustache.
Mike sent around like a week or so ago, when they have the annual pictures of the coaches, most of them are dressed very nice. Then you might get like a polo if they're in a warm place, right? He is always a Hawaiian shirt, never fails. I don't care if other people are wearing suits and ties. He doesn't care.
I love it. I love it.
And just to hammer home one last thing quickly, the just his personality again. So Kansas City is slated to play one of the international games in Germany this upcoming year. So they're going to be the home team. So they don't know who they're going to play or when, but they just know they're playing in Germany this year. And so when they asked him, what's the thing that you are most looking forward to going to Germany, he said, having a bratwurst. That's Andy Reid.
I love Andy Reid.
All right, Jack.
I like that.
Yes. All right, Jackie, what's your next pick?
All right, I'm gonna go with Ron Rivera for a couple reasons. One, my dad, huge Commanders fan, so I mean, he has his issues with the owner. And 2,
Like most people.
he was battling cancer while coaching and beat it, and that's one, really hard to battle cancer, and then he was still coaching, so I think that shows strength on his part. So
yeah, Rivera's by everyone's account an awesome dude, and good looking older guy, you know, overcoming cancer like that. Awesome. So yeah, Ron Rivera's, and also good name, strong name, double R, Ron Rivera. Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure he's one of the first
Mhm.
like Latino coaches, which is something. He has the best nickname, Riverboat Ron.
Yeah.
And my thing with him, I've loved him since, so he coached the Panthers and they went to that Super Bowl and lost. And it was very famously, that was the year where dabbing was a thing, right? That was the year that Cam Newton and the Panthers dabbed and made that a thing, and which is fine. But after the Super Bowl, if you remember, Cam Newton was the biggest poor sport, like had the terrible attitude and was just a total sore loser. And Rivera came out after, like, they interviewed him after the game, and he was the classiest person, having obviously lost in the biggest game of his career in his life. Was so classy and just kind of exemplified his personality. Yeah.
Cam
Great
Newton's
pick.
a bitch.
Mhm.
So just that too.
I also, with Ron Rivera, I saw a video of him when he was telling like all of the guys that made the like Pro Bowl. And it was just like so sweet, like watching him tell each of these guys, because you could like tell he just cares so much about them and like wanted to like see their joy and, you know, like give them this great information. He was like, you know, so proud of like each of them too. So you can tell he also is like, you know, more of a like I almost feel like family man of, you know, like supporting, I'm proud of you, like classy, like, you know, always does it like the right way too. So good pick, Jackie. I was gonna pick him.
Me too.
All right, Marin, give us your next pick here.
Okay, so
also, side note here, while you're deciding, I'll fill some air in. The Niners and Cowboys game is official, and that means that I officially turned a $10 bet into $400.
Let's go.
dang.
Wait, is it over? Did it end?
Those shots are on EJ.
Yes.
Yes.
Way
Yes,
to
they
go,
were
pal.
well under too.
Mhm.
Thank you guys. That was honestly one of the least thinking I did, and that goes to show you that's how that works sometimes, right? You just kind of go gut feeling, and that's what happens.
Okay.
So,
I think I'm gonna choose Todd Bowles from Tampa Bay.
Ah, he would have fit in perfect with my squad.
Trying to mess it. I'm trying to get a little more if we're gonna play this flag football game. I gotta beef up my roster here.
Ren.
I don't know. I mean, I think that like looking through pictures, like I think he like looks attractive like as a bald man, but he also like looks attractive with a hat too. He also played for Washington at one point, right? I believe. So I think that that's cool when like he's played in the NFL and now he's also coaching it too. I mean, he also, you know, he won a Super Bowl, right? Is that correct?
yeah, with
Okay.
Tampa.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
He was their defensive coordinator, and he got promoted to the head coach when their coach retired.
Yes, that's right. I have that in my yes. So yeah, that's my pick.
That's a great pick. He has a great head. I mean, we were talking about bad bald. That's a great bald.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about faces. We can talk about heads too. You know, when you're looking at his head, that's a great head. All right, give us your next one.
Okay.
Double up, which also means that you're going to be dead last, and I can't wait to see who's left, because there is one person that should be dead last, and I really hope he ends up being it. But I don't know that he will be, but we'll get there.
Oh man.
I know. I did the math like actually before halftime, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna get whoever is left. And some of these friends I don't have reasons next to.
Marin, I thought it was me for a second, and I was like, EJ, I literally won't pick him. Like I will just have a blank. I won't pick him. So we'll see if it's the person I think.
Aaron also has texted us being like, can you pass on your turn? Sorry. We're not even at the end, Aaron. You can't want to pass yet.
I was happy at 5. I was good.
Well, here we go. Okay, so my next pick is actually going to be Frank Wright.
Oh,
And
Heck,
and not because of him, because I personally think we should have done Jeff Saturday, who was their like interim coach, because one, who doesn't love the last name Saturday? I mean, I think that that's like the coolest last name. And like two, I think when you look at him, like, I mean, he seems just very much like a family man, like, but we'll still go to the bar with you, like, you know, still drink one too many shots, you know, if you end up at Spider Kelly's one night or like, so I am picking more the Colts than like their coach, because I would have picked Jeff Saturday, but I didn't come up with the list. But I will pick Frank Wright to put him there. But I will say he's like, I mean, he's decently looking, you know, it's not like one where I'm like, I got nothing. I mean, yeah.
So the only real anecdote I have for him is he used to play, and he was famously on that 4 Super Bowl losses for the Bills. And when Jim Kelly got hurt, he actually played in a few of those playoff games. So, so if you kind of love those lovable losers that are the Bills, then Frank Wright is one of the famous ones.
Shots fired at the Bills there, but yeah, Frank Wright.
From a Lions fan, I'm really not shooting too many. I'll take 4 Super Bowl losses to 1 playoff win in 30 years.
Frank Wright was the offensive coordinator for the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl. So there's that.
17.
And that's all we have to say about that. So
Jackie.
Jackie.
Jacket, your turn.
Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. If you take this person that's in my head, you're gonna get a very visceral reaction.
There's a very clear loser for me too. So
oh, guys, this is so hard.
Damn.
I'm gonna go with Josh McDaniels. Yeah, I mean, just looking off of the other guys that were left.
So here's a little story about Josh McDaniels. He just got interviewed to be the Colts' new head coach, and his wife told him that he's not allowed to take the job because Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts, came to their house and spent like an hour in their master bedroom or master bathroom. And Josh McDaniels' wife thought that was the weirdest thing in the world. So she's like, even if they offer you, you're not allowed to take the job because Jim Irsay is a fucking weirdo.
So well, yeah, Irsay is a known cokehead, so that's where, yeah, like he's a known mess. Mike, it was actually when he took the job and then flaked, and that's why Frank Wright was the Colts coach.
I thought that was now. Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
so that they finally got an answer. So McDaniels is the longtime offensive coordinator for the Patriots with Bill Belichick, and he took a job in Denver, crashed and burned, and then did his time and got another chance, and he took the Colts job, said yes. And then when he was going to sign the contract, he bailed, and everyone was like, what the hell, he's a piece of shit. And then Frank Wright actually took the job, like, and did a pretty good job there, very late in the process, but no one knew why. And then his wife just told everyone why recently, because Irsay was probably doing some bumps in their bathroom while trying to convince him to come to Indianapolis.
Interesting. Jimmy, actually, when I was going through, he told me that story, but he was like, who knows how true it is, and all of this, but
I mean, Irsay has quite the reputation, so that would not put it past him.
Jimmy left that part out, so
yeah, he's been arrested a few times for it, like while he was the coach, like DUIs and stuff. He's a mess.
Owner.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't matter, because he's the owner.
Right. Right. Okay, Aaron. We're almost to the end here, ladies.
Okay.
Kelly said, "Don't take my person, please."
Oh gosh. I mean, who could it be? I don't know. All right. Ugh.
There's a
Okay.
clear answer for me for your
Yeah,
squad.
and you're right, Mike.
Of who to take, of who not to take.
Who
Of
Kelly's
who
gonna
to
take?
take for your squad.
Uh-oh. Okay. Wait, now I'm second guessing myself. Can I
Sure.
ask you a question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you thinking Nathaniel Hackett? Or
No.
Mike
No.
McCarthy?
I mean, he would fit in, but he wasn't who I was thinking of.
Are you thinking of the green visor guy?
Yeah, Doug Peterson.
I mean, you don't know who the green visor guy is, Aaron?
I
He
know that
coached
he-
your Eagles to the Super Bowl.
Oh, well, let's take him. Let's take him.
Take him.
You know that one Super Bowl in like franchise history that you
Hey,
enjoyed
hey.
like
We're
5
on
years
to a
ago?
second. We're on to a second.
Yeah.
So all I
that's
have
the
written
guy.
down was that oh, that would make sense. He's a Super Bowl as a coach and a player.
Oh, Aaron.
I did not know that. I'll be transparent. My bad.
Have you never seen the clip where Nick Foles goes over and he's before the Phillies special, like he's talking to Doug Peterson, his head coach, the head coach of the team that you cheer for, when they pulled off one of the most miraculous plays in Super Bowl history.
Oh my
And
god.
Doug says to him, "You want to do Philly, Philly." And then they do it. They run Philly special.
Oh, yes. I have a shirt with Philly special on it. I should know that. Yes.
Oh, unbelievable.
I want to take this pick back, but it works perfectly with your squad. So I want
take
you to
it.
have it.
I claim it. I got it.
I want to give you Nathaniel Hackett.
I know. The wet blanket.
Oh, God.
Sorry, ladies, but
It said he likes to make football fun. That's what I wrote down.
He does. He does it. Hence the Philly special. All right, Aaron, you get this pick, but you deserve it.
I deserve it.
This is also just a very like Aaron moment right now.
yeah, this was why she's flip-flops.
I can't feel my footprint. Kelly.
I have written down that he's a Super Bowl champion. You didn't check to see.
Oh no, I hope nobody watches this. Besides us. Oh
All
man.
right, Kelly.
Well,
Oh, go ahead, Aaron. You guys have anything else?
I was just gonna say I've been keeping track of which division is going first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. So I'd like to review that at the end.
I would love that. We will definitely review that. I noticed who went first, but I didn't track after that.
I've been keeping track.
All right, Kel, bring us home with your last two picks.
Okay. So my next pick is Matt Eberfuss. Is that how I say it? Yeah. And it's because he has an education degree.
Oh.
So you can't hate him.
No, none of us can, so.
Yep.
Just go last again.
Yeah. I mean, does anyone have any comments? He's also a person. I mean, he coaches the Bears.
I know nothing about him.
Right. But I when I even tried to search, that was what we found was education degree. Like there wasn't a ton out there on him. Yeah.
Yeah, I Googled him and literally I found nothing interesting. So I wrote nothing by him. Sorry, Matt.
Education degree. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel here. So it's really who not to pick at this point.
Well, I am taking someone that would fit in on Aaron's team really well.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you don't pick who I think you're gonna pick.
I'm taking Mike McCarthy.
Oh,
Because he is from Pittsburgh.
Indeed.
And he actually grew up in the same like neighborhood as my mom.
gosh. Okay, wait. I have another fun fact about him. Are you ready? This is like probably my favorite fun fact. Okay. He played a season for a football team that was called the Fighting Artichokes.
Where?
I don't know, community college in Arizona. How crazy is that? The Fighting Artichokes? What was their mascot? An artichoke?
An artichoke, probably.
I think it was actually a piece of lettuce. What do you mean what their mascot was? Of course it was an artichoke.
Oh, I thought you were...
All right.
You know
Mike,
what?
Can
Actually,
you pull that
EJ,
up? Can you pull that up?
EJ, they actually, I think they have a rivalry trophy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I was looking through like the craziest rivalry trophies. I think this is not the first time I've heard of the Fighting Artichoke. Like this sounds very familiar.
I mean, do they fight spinach? Because if they do, this is like the best trophy ever.
Crouton.
Hold on. Artie the Artichoke. Oh,
Artie.
oh no, this definitely isn't one. No, Scottsdale Community College. No. They definitely don't have a rivalry trophy, but there is. Because I was looking at like really for future seasons, I was looking at like the most obscure. It was when Brawl of the Wild became a thing. I'm like, what are some of the most notable like non-Power 5 trophies? And there was something about it was something weird like this, like Fighting Artichokes and
Shanahan just took that hat off and threw it in the crowd.
I saw that. What?
I know.
I know.
His hair looked pretty great. His hairline's strong hairline.
I know. He's got, that salt and pepper look. I guess you could say I'm attracted to that.
Okay, Aaron, what's your last pick? And don't pick. Don't pick the wrong pick.
You what?
Unfortunately, I think no matter who she picks, it's gonna kind of ruin the vibe of her squad. Like, McCarthy would have really done well, but
I know, what the heck. All right, so I have a FedEx family. I have football fun. I have a sweater t-shirt guy. That's what I'm working with. So, oh no, I just don't want to pick the last pick that you're thinking.
I probably am unique on why I think one of those three should be the last pick.
Oh no. This is hard. Okay, I'm going to pick. I wish for Arthur Smith you picked the other picture. I really do.
Yeah, that's not a good picture of him.
I purposely picked that picture for Arthur Smith.
So he doesn't like him. Okay, I'm going with Hackett because he fits the look, I guess, ish, kind of, sort of. All I have for him is that he likes to make football fun.
Aaron, I wrote people wouldn't mess with him because he's bald.
Yeah, I really don't know much about him beside the fact that he's really bad at coaching football. But that has nothing to do with this. So not mad at it. He looks tough.
Yeah.
I'll go with it.
I'm also really mad at I have another fun fact for someone that's already been picked, but Kelly scribbled. Actually, I don't think she wrote it down. Never mind. I'll just have to remember. Someone who's really into painting.
What?
Actually, I think it's Mike Vrabel. Now that I think about it, I think he's it is him. He appreciates paint and he does paint himself.
What does he paint? Like the decapitated bodies of his enemies, like with their own blood, like
flowers.
Fuck off. Does he really?
I don't know what he paints. I don't think it's the blood, using the blood of his decapitated enemies, but
I mean, what else?
But he does have that softer artistic side.
Aww, my team is so talented.
I really like your team, Aaron.
Yeah, I really do too.
They're all a bunch of dudes.
I am gonna go back to Nathaniel Hackett, and I know coaching wise, he might not be a big fan, but I think my mom, shout out Patty, would be disappointed if I didn't point out that her favorite player, Russell Wilson, plays on the team, and she loves him because he's from Richmond, Virginia. So gotta have a slight positive for him there.
Russell Wilson also like drove Nathaniel Hackett out of town. He's no longer the head coach of the Broncos.
Well, no, I know, but he's still from Richmond, Virginia. Okay.
There's that.
There's that.
Probably back in Richmond now, living in his parents' basement.
He's married to Sierra, you do know. Like, talk about like a power couple there.
Yep. Old Dangerous. Yep.
Hey, Broncos country, let's ride.
Mr. Unlimited. The Danger
all right.
Witch.
Hey, Jackie, what do you got here? Arthur Smith or Bill Belichick?
I mean, both are not great choices.
If you, I mean, go ahead and make your pick.
What were you going to say?
I'm just saying, there should, for you, this should be a slam dunk on which one you choose.
Now you're making me nervous.
Don't overthink this, Jackie,
Don't
because I'm curious. I think I'm on the opposite side of Mike on this, actually.
I think we are on the opposite side, but
Yeah.
there's no reason. Go ahead.
I feel like I'm going to get yelled at no matter who I pick, but I'm going with Arthur Smith because I can't stand Belichick. Like, I can't do it. I can't stand the Patriots. I'm a Giants fan. We beat them twice in the Super Bowl, and
you're his daddy. That's great.
Have him.
Why would she pick him?
Jackie.
That's the right choice. If you pick Bill Belichick, it would be an absolute slap in the face to your Giant fanhood.
Yeah,
that's a great pick.
Mm-hmm.
We, both of us, have watched and listened to countless hours of true crime. And does that not look like the face of the guy that did the crime, period?
I'm going to be honest, though, that I also think I should have said this earlier, but what is his name? Now I'm blanking on his name. Where is he? I think Mike McDaniel also looks like he could be a serial killer.
No.
The 12-year-old?
No. Swaggy Mike? No way.
No.
And obviously Arthur Smith is not attractive, but I'm not going to pick Belichick.
He looks like he should be like a DJ. Like, and given that he is but not a good DJ, not like Tiesto, like a very unsuccessful DJ, but like he still does like techno stuff. Like he should be wearing like a backwards, like fitted hat, like doing just a very unsuccessful DJ that his dad, who owns FedEx, is super disappointed in. But his son went to NYU, became a DJ, experimented with his bisexuality. Like that's Arthur Smith to me.
Yeah, so. And then stabbed like a co-ed dorm like to death. Like that dude just looks like a killer.
No, he has nothing behind his eyes. It's just there's nothing back here.
Said every murderer ever.
No. Not nothing like
no remorse.
Dark, not a dark void. Like there's just not a lot of thoughts going on up in here. Like
I will say, being the son of the founder of FedEx, the guy was born on like well past third base. But
he really likes like American cheese sandwiches, like not grilled cheese, but just like a slice of American.
Yeah,
on like Wonder Bread. There's nothing like that for him. Like,
he could be the whole package.
I also. So, Mike, the thing that you sent all of us, the Barstool Sports with the coaches.
Yeah.
I was like scrolling through just like to look and see. And I actually laughed out loud at this. And this is actually perfect that Jackie picked him because his is the guy who hasn't seen the sun in 6 months awards.
Yeah. Like he could be cast in like Sweeney Todd or like
so Big Cat actually said that he's a pretty cool guy. Like he in the same article, Big Cat's like he's a good guy. Like, I don't want to say anything bad about him, but my man get a suntan. So
No, I did, but I just thought that was like the title of it.
Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah.
It matches Jackie.
Well, then, Marin, that gives you Bill Belichick. And ladies, can I
The
just
worst
say
pick.
I'm
The
proud of you
worst pick.
guys. I'm proud that he was last. He
Yes.
is last. He should be last.
Yes, he
Good on
absolutely
you
should
guys.
be. He sucks. Like, he
Yeah.
would be terrible as a partner in any stretch of the imagination.
I literally said I would just not pick anyone if I was last. So, Marin, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have
She
nothing
said
positive.
if it's Bill Belichick, like, I'm not picking him, is what she
Yeah,
said.
I have nothing positive to say about him because what I have on my list is not a fan and to get a different wardrobe besides half of a sweatshirt. So, yeah.
I mean, that sums it up nicely.
Mhm.
All right, ladies, that's the 2023 Ladies Night NFL Coaches Draft. I think you guys did splendid.
Agreed.
Aaron, do you want to go through your little data points you are keeping as a nice little wrap up to this?
I do. So the first to go was AFC North. So we got Tomlin, Taylor, Harbaugh, and Stefanski. That was the first one to go. The second was NFC West. So we got, where's number 2 here? We got McVay, Carroll, Shanahan, Kingsbury. That's pretty. I actually thought that would be
those three went off.
I thought that was
fast.
going to be first.
Yeah,
I think it was Carroll who weighed them down a little bit.
Yep, he was the last one, but they were the first 3 pretty quick.
Yeah, exactly. Then we had AFC South with number 3. So we had Vrabel, Smith, Wright, and Peterson. Then NFC North as number 4, Campbell, Eberflus, whatever that guy's, O'Connell, and LaFleur. Was that number 4? Then we had NFC East, Rivera, Dayball, McCarthy, and Sirianni. Then we had AFC West, which was Staley, McDaniels, Reed, and Hackett. NFC South, which was Allen, Rule, Bowles, Smith. And then lastly was AFC East. McDermott, McDaniel, some mix, Belichick, and Saleh, but he was close to the beginning.
Yeah. Bill really held him back there.
Yeah, it was his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked by that. I'm kind of shocked that the NFC West didn't go completely first. But I guess, like you said, like Pete Carroll kind of held them, but still, they were done by the 5th round, which is pretty respectable, pretty quick. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's it. Do you guys have any other final comments here? Final thoughts?
Yeah, we want T-shirts with our teams.
Mhm.
Ooh, I like that idea.
What
Right?
you know, like a T-shirt with all of their faces on it?
Yeah, these
Yeah.
pictures. I want to
No.
represent my squad.
Erin really just wants to wear hers, so when she goes out to the bar with her squad, it's clear who she's with.
I mean, guys, don't we have a lot of each other's faces on shirts already? Like, don't you guys have enough faces on shirts? I have like 6 in my drawer.
each
Yeah.
other, but not
Each other. And I
And
know
not
that
NFL coaches, EJ. Come on, man. This is an untapped merch market.
Mhm.
I know we still need one person is still missing with their face on shirts, but I think that's coming up in July. And
Yeah.
let me tell you, those photos.
In fact, not.
We'll take care of that.
Not very.
All right. Well, thank you all for participating. I think this was a great idea. I know I had a lot of fun listening to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves as well. And for the listeners, sorry, I got to think of the things I need to say at the end of this. The listeners, so we're going to have you guys vote. So Mike and I will not vote. I think it's pretty obvious Mike and I would both vote for Aaron's team.
Yeah,
if
the
we were-
boys.
if we were voting here, but we are going to have all the listeners here. Please vote This episode will be released on Wednesday, which you'll be listening to this Wednesday. So we'll probably have voting either Friday or potentially into the weekend. This is going to be a really long episode, so we want to make sure that everyone gets to listen to it as much as they can. And then we will make sure to also post a graphic to remind everyone of who was selected by each of these lovely ladies. Mike, do you have any lasting thoughts there?
No, I think you guys did well. You ladies did great. It was a wonderful, wonderful draft. Jimmy, congratulations to your Niners there. I had a recurring guest Jimmy on Cloud9 right now. Me too, because I took the Niners, so that's fantastic. But yeah, a lot of fun. Appreciate you all coming prepared and having good sound logic, and looking forward to you guys and those shot bets. So Kelly's the only one that got off the hook, but EJ, you did just win that bet, so you could just buy her a shot as a gift.
Yes, I definitely could. Yeah, so everyone, please make sure that you follow us on Instagram if you don't already. I'm hoping to get some new listeners here that maybe aren't interested in college football trophies, but are interested in knowing the types of men these four ladies would choose in a bar if they had a choice. And also follow us on YouTube as well. And be on the lookout. So we kind of teased this before. We have a roundabout date. So we have this special project we're working on, and it will be released in early May. The exact date is not known yet, but some of you ladies, don't say it, know what we're working on. It's something very interesting. You guys will actually be a part of it, which is very fun. But we're really excited for this new project. But look out for it in May. We're working hard on it. So for Mike, I'm EJ. Always remember, too much of anything is bad, but too much good whiskey is barely enough.
Cheers, boys.